I hate that they call the child Charles Wallace, because there's scenes where they have to call for him and they refuse to just call him Charles. And that shit bothers me. Charles Wallace! Charles Wallace!
You are about to enter the courtroom of the Honorable Judge KennieJD. Does she have any movie critic experience? No. Does she have any authority? No. But they gave her a show anyways. The movies are bad. The cases are good. The rulings are final. This is in defense of...
Hello, everyone, and welcome to In Defense of, a More Butter production. I am your host and your Judge KennieJD, and here on In Defense of, we look at movies that did bad at the box office or did bad in ratings and decide whether or not they deserved it. They gave me a gavel. I use it often. Yay. Today we will be looking at Disney's A Wrinkle in Time, 2018. And this is a movie that I only vaguely knew existed, and that is all. I knew Oprah was in it. I knew that's it. I knew it was fantasy related, maybe Disney, and Oprah was in it. And I didn't see it. Okay, so there you go. But before we get started, if you would like to check us out here on More Butter, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, or you can follow us on Spotify or anywhere else you listen to podcasts. Feel free to give us a 5-star rating so that we can rise up through the ranks. Really appreciate it. So, opening statements. I am so tired of people being bad with money when it comes to film. It's overwhelming. It is really bad. I'm officially saying that all non-Marvel movies that take over $100 million to make are suspicious and should be looked into for perhaps being a money laundering scheme. This movie feels like that, an incredibly intricate and very expensive money laundering scheme. So, if you've never heard of A Wrinkle in Time, you probably haven't. It came and went like a whisper in the wind, but it is a Disney film. It came out in 2018, and it costs $250 million, $250 million to produce, if you include production, distribution, and advertisement. You know, a lot of money, basically. And speaking of Marvel, I was just saying that if it's over $100 million, then it's non-Marvel. I'm confused. For comparison's sake, another movie from Marvel, Black Panther, came out the same year, and it was $200 million to produce, and it made $1.3 billion. So, you know, a lot of money went into making this film, right? Wrinkle in Time, however, only made $100 million in the US and Canada, with a worldwide total of $132.7 million. So is that even half? What is half of 200? That's like 170. I can't do math. What? 125. So barely over half of the money that they spent actually got made back. So give or take 120 some odd, $118 million loss. So that's a nice pretty penny that definitely didn't go into a laundering scheme. I don't know how money laundering works, by the way. I just know vaguely people give a lot of money and it don't sound right. But as far as like scores, it also bombed with reception as well. Like only 42% of critics on Rotten Tomatoes liked it. That's with 344 reviews, and only 26% of audience scores actually enjoyed this film. Fair. Well, all right, go home because I'm not much different. All right, nice seeing y'all. Welcome to court. All aboard, whatever. Not all aboard. All adjourned. Okay. So the critic consensus was basically that A Wrinkle in Time is visually gorgeous, okay, big-hearted, and occasionally quite moving. Unfortunately, it is also wildly ambitious to a fault, and often less than the sum of its classic parts. So I wanted to go into plot, but the plot is incredibly convoluted and confusing, so much so that I really got taken out of the film a lot. So I'm gonna give you a very whittled down version of what actually kind of sort of happens in this movie. The movie's about 2 hours, so it drags. It's like, wow, we're still here. We're still doing this. Okay. And it's a bit of a sensory overload as well. It's just, and it's very ugly to look at oftentimes. Anyway, getting ahead of myself. Plot. It centers around, again, a lot of shit that doesn't make sense, but for the lofty attempt at just kind of making it quick and concise. The main character is 13-year-old Meg Murray, and she is suffering from a lot of depression and a lot of just feeling alone and isolated after her astrophysicist father, Alex, disappeared 4 years prior, leaving her and her little brother, Charles Wallace, whom they refer to in total, like the entire name, Charles Wallace, throughout the movie. And it is some of the most annoying shit. So for my own sanity, his name is Charles, and he's gonna be Charles this entire video. Thank you. But both of them are kind of struggling at school due to bullying and gossiping teachers who all kind of not all make fun, but some of them actually make fun of their father leaving and disappearing somewhere. Like, whoa, rude. Okay. Eventually, Meg and Charles are joined by her classmate, Calvin, and they begin to travel through time and space to find her father, because apparently he had been lost in a different time dimension through his invention that he was trying to do, and he got stuck. They visit several planets along with the help of these three kind of random witch-like people played by Reese Witherspoon, Oprah, and Mindy. What is her last name? Mindy, she was in The Office. Calling? How do you pronounce that? Yes. Named Miss What's-It, Miss Witch, and Miss Who. There you go. And then for the rest of the movie, we as the audience get the pleasure of taking the acid trip of them going to the weird different planets looking for Meg's father. We see like flowers moving and shit, and it's very uncomfortable. Like, do not watch this movie high. I think you may jump off a bridge. I think it'll be the last thing you ever see. But to keep this long and very drawn out movie short, after visiting several planets, getting help, meeting danger along the way, they eventually find out that their kind of antagonist is this evil energy referred to as the It, that apparently makes people mean and abusive and awful. So that's kind of the vague understanding of all of human maleficence, I guess. But through friendship and trial, Meg eventually overcomes her self-doubt and is able to learn the location of her father. But before she's able to get to him, Charles is possessed by the It and becomes a puppet of a bad guy by the name of Red. So when Meg is ultimately able to find her father, they have a tearful reunion that is short-lived because she has to go get her brother. Side note, though most of the movie didn't really draw any specific emotion from me other than just like, what the fuck is happening? The reunion, I can't know words. Okay. The reunion scene with her and her father is actually very touching. It did make me cry. I thought it was very cute. But anyway, they're separated again because Meg has to go get her brother. And in the course of overcoming the It, she is forced to embrace her imperfections, own who she is, and ultimately uses the love for her brother to get him free from the It. They return home, her and her brother and her father, to be reunited with their mother, and that's the movie. Well, a very simplified version of it. That's generally the movie. So yay, enjoy. If you want to watch, honestly, the movie is incredibly boring, but if you want to watch it, go nuts. Why, hello there. Popping in to let you know that today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Jarritos Soda, who is quite possibly my favorite soda to ever come in a glass bottle. Jarritos Soda comes in 12 flavors, so you're sure to find one that you like. The flavors are Mexican Cola, grapefruit, tamarind, strawberry, mandarin, lime, guava, pineapple, one of my favorites, mango, another one of my favorites, watermelon, passion fruit, fruit punch, and Jamaica. not to be confused with Jamaica. They're made with real sugar, all natural flavors, and are made with no HFCs. As of right now, my favorite flavors keep changing. At first, I was always like a fruit punch, strawberry girl. Now I'm leaning towards mango or pineapple. So if you would like to try every flavor, you can check it out by going to the link in the description box so you can get your personal Jarritos Fiesta Pack at Walmart. Big thanks again to Jarritos Soda for sponsoring today's video. So what are my thoughts on the film? I watched it, wrote notes on it, and within 12 hours, I don't remember. Like, the only reason I knew what the movie is about is because I wrote it down. Like, I had no idea what this movie was about. It was a fucking clusterfuck. I don't recall it. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't really recall the movie itself. I recall the feeling I got. And it's a feeling I'm becoming more and more accustomed with. It's what I refer to as the cat feeling. Like the day that I went to go see Cats. And now I've seen a few other CGI heavy films that tend to elicit this particular response. It's like a bodily, it makes me stand on edge. It's like a body response. Fight or flight, if you will. It's definitely a movie that, again, doesn't really have much of a cohesive plot. I did my best. We tried. But what it does have is just like recognizable faces that seem to be all that it's really relying on the rare occasions that it's not horrifying, because it is horrifying. Some scenes are just truly, I don't know how we got here and why we're here and what we're supposed to do with this. There's a few. There's the one where they go to this like cul-de-sac where every mom is dressed the same and every kid rhythmically plays with a red ball. Frightening. Like frightening. We see a bunch of flowers running and they're sentient. They're like human. They're like moving, breathing flowers, and it's just very disconcerting. There's a time when Reese Witherspoon, I believe, turns into, or was it Mindy? Somebody turns into like a flying dragon, like a magic carpet with a face. And it's just like flying through the air. And I was just like, I am okay. I can end this experience, please. Let's do that now. It's giving very Cats. It's giving very Nutcracker 3D. You know, too much CGI. Like, we ask ourselves, can we, but not should we? And that's what I'm getting. I just feel like maybe we should we start gatekeeping CGI more? Because it makes me itch. This movie makes me itch. And that's why I'm really surprised that anybody thought this movie was beautiful. I find that fascinating. Because, yeah, I guess in like if I could exist within my own nightmare type of way, you know, it's giving very, has anybody ever heard of the like shorts that get played on Adult Swim at like 4 a.m? Or used to, I don't know what they do now, called Off the Air. It's giving very Off the Air. Just like this odd hypothermia dream. Anyway, but the plot itself is incohesive. The CGI is just incoherent. I hate that they call the child Charles Wallace, because there's scenes where they have to call for him and they refuse to just call him Charles. And that shit bothers me. Charles Wallace! Charles Wallace! I'm like, Charles? Efficiency. I feel like that's the problem here. We're lacking that. Beyond that, I hated the pacing. The movie was incredibly long and boring and dragging out. A lot of scenes just felt like they were there to be visually stimulating, but not to do much else. I think the movie in general is kind of that, to be quite frank with you. So yeah, a lot of negatives for me. There are a few positives though, and I would like to at least end on a happy note, I guess. Again, I did cry when she was reunited with her daddy. That was cute. I was like, oh, that's nice. But I was also crying because I was like, thank God this movie is about to end, but it doesn't actually. It goes quite a bit longer than that. So I started to almost cry because of that. 2, I like seeing Black kids as leads. I am partial. I am biased in that regard. I wish we were in a better movie, but hey, they did put a lot of money behind the backing of a Black lead, so I am kind of happy about that. And 3, it has a bomb-ass soundtrack, as most bad movies do. I can't fault us for this movie because it gave us the studio version of that Chloe and Haley song. Halle? I've never said her name out loud. Chloe Halle song, Warrior. Which means that because we had a studio version, we have that iconic live performance of it that plays on Black Twitter like every 4 months. So thank you for that. But in this movie, they misuse it so terribly. They use it when they went to the beach. The song Warrior is so epic. Why are you using it like, oh, we're going to play volleyball? I can be a warrior. Yes, I am a warrior. There's no need to worry, love. Look around, it's glorious. Close your eyes and taste the sun. You know where to find me. Okay, wait, hold on. Me. Breath control, which I know about that. Yeah, but the movie wasn't for me. So, and I think it would bore or scare children. So I don't know who this movie is for. Final verdict, guilty. It's okay that it went off into obscurity and that no one ever talks about it again. You don't have to. It sucked. That's my thoughts on that. That's a quick episode. Because what is there to say? The movie sucks. The entire experience is either just jaw-droppingly awful or just completely forgettable. So it's up to you if you want to waste an hour and 50 some odd minutes on it. But I personally say save your time. But if you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. My rulings are final. But if you would like to talk amongst yourself down in the jury box, you can do that. But seriously, if you hated the movie as much as I did or liked it, feel free to put it down below. Follow us again on More Butter here on YouTube or on Instagram, Twitter. All of it is More Butter. I think there's a TikTok now. Editing person, let me know. Also, if you want to find me, I'm on YouTube as KennieJD. You can find me there. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram. Sometimes I'm on TikTok when I remember it exists. Again, all of which are KennieJD. And I will see you guys later. Bye. Hee 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 hee.